Well, welcome to Radio Shields, ladies. It's absolutely fantastic to have you on. I have been really looking forward to this because tonight we're going to talk all about complementary therapies, but we're going to really focus in on the amazing and healing benefits of aromatherapy. Let me just introduce you all to begin with. So we've got lovely Anne Ball, who works at Guru Holistics in Durham. She has been working in this field of complementary therapy for really over 25 years, has an absolute love for aromatherapy, uses essential oils. She's also very much a part of and passionate about teaching and training people as well, so they can get out there and use these wonderful healing medicines in their own practices and in their own lives as well. So welcome Anne. We've also got lovely Samantha Gibson, who runs her own therapy business, Samantha Gibson Therapies, and she's been working again in the field of complementary therapy now for a couple of years. She did all her training with Anne, and she's completely addicted like the rest of us. Once you start learning, you've just got to keep learning more. And she also practices Indian head massage as well as aromatherapy. And then we've also got lovely Rachel Hunter with us tonight as well. She's been working as a therapist for 7 years, and she loves reflexology. This is kind of her absolute passion. And you've got a massive skill of things that you do, Rachel. But you are absolutely seeing the benefits of using essential oils now as well. So we're going to talk with you lots about essential oils. And you've all just finished this amazing 5-week journey, really, of learning more in-depth ways of blending oils and using oils together to make prescriptions for different things. And I can't wait to find out a little bit more from you. But Anne, tell us a little bit about Guru Holistics and your experience, your practice, and your journey into this absolutely incredibly fascinating healing modality.
Thank you. I got involved in complementary therapies over 25 years ago. I actually just wanted to learn how to use aromatherapy in the home. And I approached my local college to find out about doing the aromatherapy training. Because it was very aromatherapy based, they said that I needed to do my Swedish massage training first. And I ummed and ahed about it. I just wanted to learn how to blend a few oils. But I ended up doing the Swedish massage training, and it was probably the best thing that I ever did. That led on a year to do aromatherapy training, and then I did reflexology training. And that was a pivotal moment for me because my tutor found out that I had my teaching qualification, and she got me involved at teaching at Darlington College. About 8-9 years ago, I started working from a couple of different premises around the northeast, one at Pittington, Chesley Street, and now I'm based in Gilesgate, Durham. I offer a variety of complementary therapies, but also I devote a lot of time to teaching as well. I'm really passionate about working with women. I work with fertility, pregnancy, postnatal, and aromatherapy works beautifully with that range of clients as well. So that's me.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. It's absolutely brilliant to have you here. I can't wait to find out more from you. We'll come to you, Rachel. Rachel, tell us a little bit about R&R therapy. Where is it? How did you get into it?
I'm based in South Gosforth, and I sort of got into it purely through my own life experiences of needing holistic therapies to help myself. And reflexology was just, originally I went for a massage and then was introduced to the reflexology and was just blown away the impact that it made on my health and well-being. And so from there became quite curious started doing quite a bit of reading about it, and then at the age of 47 thought I'm going to have a complete life change, and I went back to college. And
Wow.
so learned at Newcastle College, and from there on have just steadily grown. Women are my priority. I do work with men, I do work with children as well, and anything to do with women, girls going through puberty, women trying to conceive. The menopause is a real biggie at the moment, and just knowing the difference that it can make to them is immense.
It's so exciting, isn't it, when we find new ways of doing things, new solutions. And I can tell you've got the bug like I have as well with continuing professional development. We're like, oh, what course is next? Once you start learning, that's it. You just want to keep going with it. It's a hobby, it's a passion, and when it's your living as well, it's a real blessing, isn't it? And Samantha, hello. See you jumping around in the background there. Have you got some little ones that you're
No, I just had a little bit of background noise, and I think they thought they weren't that loud.
Oh, that's all right.
House at the moment.
So tell us about your practice and the therapies that you offer.
Right, I first started a couple of years ago. I met Anne through a mutual friend, John Laws, who has a therapy business in Stanley. I went to him for an injury. Fascinated how he got me up and running again straight away, because I was self-employed before I went into massage. And basically he introduced me to Anne. Started with the Swedish massage, Indian head massage, and then I got into reflexology, crystals, therapy. Loved the healing benefits of all that. And the most recent one I did with Anne was pregnancy massage, and then I've gone straight into aromatherapy. I can't get enough of the therapies, and you know, the more you sort of do, the more help you can do because I do with men, women and children, for all sorts of purposes. So yeah,
fantastic. And you've all just been doing Anne's blending course. Anne, what inspired you to run a 5-week blending course? Where did that kind of come from?
Well, I already offer the course as an in-person training course, and a few people, Samantha, mentioned to me, how could she possibly learn it while we were in lockdown? And I had to think about it, and I spoke to a few people. Said, would you like to do the training? Would you be prepared to do some online training? Be prepared to meet and do like the Zoom meetings, etc. And I was expecting about 4 students, and I ended up with 16.
Wow.
And yeah, ended up being absolutely fantastic. The course actually evolved as the week went on, just by the enthusiasm from everybody that was attending. It ended up being a lifeline, I think, for everybody in lockdown, because we ended up talking every day. We all started sharing recipes of the aromatherapy blends we were doing. I encouraged the students to take photographs of their work. So we were all oohing and ahhing over everybody's colour coordinated pictures and things. And it has just been absolutely amazing. It's been a learning curve for me as well. I've had to learn how to do things like Zoom, how to do PowerPoint, because I am very much into in-person training, getting the enthusiasm from somebody in the room and feeding back from that. You haven't got that so much when you're online, but I think we made up for it with enthusiasm and humour.
It's really important to have a good sense of humour. Working and teaching on Zoom is a very different experience, isn't it? Learning up this way is a very different experience. But I think when you're already qualified and you're already out there working in the field, and you've got lots of experience like you ladies all have, coming together to add on this absolutely incredible information is going to really enhance your practice. Rachel, tell me a little bit more about your experience of this 5-week journey, this blending course that you've been doing. It's just been amazing.
Well, actually, it was really nice just to have something that you could get up and have to do on, whatever day of the week it was that we were meeting up, and having a focus and a direction of something to do during the day. And like you mentioned before, once you start learning, you just get more curious. So then there's been quite a few orders placed on Amazon. There's been quite a lot of reading done online. And it's just been brilliant in the way that it's given us food for thought. And just being able to learn a new skill at home has been fantastic.
It's been, I bet it's been really great, hasn't it, to have something really positive and constructive to focus on while we've been in this place where we're unable to work. Are any of you seeing clients at the moment?
No.
Yeah, it's a difficult time, isn't it, for body workers, for energy workers, for people who work with people in a physical capacity. We've all just had to take a big step back from that, and I'm sure you're all dreadfully missing that connection with your clients. But when we do go back, you're going to have this fantastic array of new skills that you're going to be able to bring into your practice. That's wonderful. Samantha, tell us a little bit about what you've been learning over the past 5 weeks and what you've really enjoyed about the course.
Just learning more about the oils, because I used to have them in the house anyway and use them in diffusers and oil burners and things. But the properties of like the 36 oils that we covered, the broader horizon of it all, it was quite good. And I've been experimenting with the kids as well. We're making bath bombs and soaps, and we had a massive explosion of bath bomb fizz everywhere, and it just it's been good, because I could get the kids involved in it, and just have some fun with it as well, because there's so much to do with it. Just can't wait to use it when we get back to work. Really missing work.
Yeah, can't wait to get back and get your hands on some clients again and bring this wonderful healing modality into your therapy rooms. So obviously we're really talking about the amazing power of essential oils, aren't we, in tonight's interview. Tell us, Anne, in a kind of, give me an overview of what is aromatherapy? What is it? I'm sure everyone will have heard of aromatherapy, and we all have people have lots of different misconceptions and ideas about what it is, but is it just smelling nice things? What is aromatherapy?
Aromatherapy is the art of extracting the soul of plant oils taken from living plants such as flowers, herbs, spices, citrus fruits, woods, resins, grasses, and they are extracted in different methods, but the main method is steam distillation. So if you remember how one of your family used their own beer or wine, and they used to have almost like a laboratory set up in the spare room, and then there'd be a little drip of liquid. Well, that's how they extract essential oils.
Wow.
The essential oils, when they are extracted, are 100% pure, so they have to be treated with total respect. They have to be treated as if they are medicine. And the way that you would use the essential oils would be, if it was going to be touching the skin, would have to be diluted. Now, the reason why we use the plant oils is for therapeutic reasons. It's not just nice smells, because we could just use fragrance oils for that. It works on an emotional and a physical level. It sends messages to the brain to make you feel better. So if you are feeling a little bit down, certain aromatherapy oils can actually uplift you. If you are a little bit hyper, certain essential oils can actually help to calm and balance your emotions or your moods.
Mm-hmm.
We use them in different methods of use, and it's just, what you've got to think of is what is going to suit you at home using them, what's going to be easy for you to use, what's going to make you reach for that lavender oil that's been in the back of the cupboard for but years and years and years, and realised that there's so many different things that you could be doing with that bottle of lavender oil.
And you know, people, we want to encourage people to use essential oils in their homes, but I think it's really important to highlight the safety, the need to dilute, and how to use them correctly. Rachel, what are your favorite oils for your personal use, and what would you recommend to somebody who's thinking about starting to use essential oils at home?
My my all-time favourite is lavender. You need to take the top off the bottle, have a little smell, and all is well. Since I've been using the 36 oils that we've gone through with Anne, grapefruit and lime are my new favourites, and I will use a drop of each, dilute them in some water, and then I have them in the bottom of the shower in the morning, and it's just so invigorating. It's a lovely start to the day. I think as far as recommending an oil, it's so hard to recommend. You'd have to ask quite a few questions of what that person was looking for and why they were wanting to use them. And then it's all down to what scents you like, because what I like, somebody else might not. I know that, Anne, I think you like ylang ylang, don't you?
Absolutely adore it.
So yeah, it's very hard.
So you maybe would want to chat with somebody a bit more about what they want to gain from using these oils before you would make a recommendation. Is there a good place where people can go and have a look or check out information about what oils might be safe to use at home?
Too sure, really. I mean, I think there's so much online now, isn't there? My first introduction was through Neil's Yard. They can be quite pricey, so I think you've got to be aware of what your own pocket can afford and how you want to research them and source them. But I think to actually go into a store that sells them is your starting point, rather than just going online.
Yeah. And how do you know that you're buying like decent oils? How do you know that you're getting the good stuff?
Well, it's looking around, seeing what other aromatherapists are using could be a good way of deciding to research into that company. The first thing I would look at is that they had a Latin name. That straight away would tell me that it was an authentic essential oil.
Okay.
I would be looking at the price differences as well. So if you find a shop and they're selling essential oils all at the same price, then I would straight away come out of that store or out of that shop, because essential oils are different for different reasons. It's how difficult a plant is to grow, how long it needs to grow before they can extract essential oils from it, how easy is it to harvest, and how easy is it to extract, and also the yield that they get from it. It takes 60,000 petals to make just 1 ounce of rose oil.
Wow. It's a lot of roses.
A lot of roses.
Which is probably why it's so expensive.
Absolutely. It's about 80 pence a drop of 1 drop of rose oil is that expensive. Yeah.
Wow. Are there any kind of cheaper alternatives to rose oil that you could recommend for those who don't want to spend 80 pence a drop?
There is an oil called rose geranium, which is a variety of geranium and rose. It has got that rose, that floral undertones to it, and it's got very similar properties to it. Any of the flower essential oils are going to have very similar properties to rose. So you've got your geranium, you've got your lavender, and you've got my all-time favourite ylang ylang as well.
Yes, I love ylang ylang. It's one of my favourites too. Samantha, obviously you work with people now who are also pregnant as well. There are going to be certain oils that are not safe to use when you're pregnant. They're going to be not safe to use on children, perhaps not safe to use if you're on certain medications. Can you kind of like give us an overview of which oils maybe should be avoided and how we find out which ones are safe for us to use? I've thrown
a blank, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Anne, jump in and get on the
Okay, so with pregnancy, I'm very cautious about using aromatherapy men, so it all depends on what trimester they are in to start with.
Okay.
A lot of the floral, the flowery essential oils are, they stimulate reproductive system and they stimulate the menstrual system, so therefore these would be avoided in the first and maybe even the second trimester. When it comes to the third trimester, however, we can start introducing some of those essential oils. Some of them still should not be used until they're actually in labour. For example, clary sage. For medications, you would look at what the medication was for. If it was for high blood pressure, low blood pressure, all of the essential oils have got their own properties, benefits and precautions. So it's quite a difficult question that you asked there.
It was a very difficult question. And I could see Samantha, I put her right on the spot there. So I'm sorry about that, my darling. I get very worried. I went to an open evening with a lady who was not a qualified aromatherapist, but she loved essential oils and had gained and had so many benefits in her own life from using them. And there was a pregnant lady in the room, and she'd recommended that she'd used cypress, clary sage, and I think there was another one, and I was like oh, it's really dangerous. But there's a lot of people out there who are blending oils, which is great. I love that people have got such enthusiasm for them. There's a lot of people out there who are selling oils, which is great. It means they're more accessible for people. But I do have a little niggle in the back of my mind when it comes to people who are not qualified aromatherapists who are providing advice on aromatherapy. That kind of makes me really scared, because we do have to remember, like you were saying, Anne, there's a lot of plant in those oils. Those oils are powerful medicines, and they do need to be respected. Samantha, what kind of oils and where do you buy your oils? What sort of oils do you buy, and where do you get yours from? Where do you get your oils from?
Well, at the moment, I'm using online, going through a company called Amphora. Really good quality oils. It was recommended, the company was recommended, but also I've had to buy some from different shops on Amazon and what have you. But it's always good to check out the reviews, make sure they come in brown bottles, because that protects from the sunlight and what have you. And make sure it's a reputable company as well. So you know what you're getting, because you don't want it diluted. You want that strength in the bottle. So yeah,
So making sure that you're getting a good quality oil, but you can shop around and just get them off Amazon if you want. What was the name of the company that you've really enjoyed using?
Amphora Aromatics.
Amphora Aromatics. We'll have to check those ones out. Yeah. So
Amphora Aromatics are based in Bristol.
Great. All right. Thank you for that. Maybe we can get a link for their site, so the listeners can have a look, have a browse at their lovely essential oils. So obviously we're talking about the benefits of oils and how we need to have a bit of knowledge about them, and we can get that information from a qualified aromatherapist, or we can do a little bit of research online and find that information there. But we need to just be quite respectful of the fact that these are medicines, they are strong, and some oils are not going to be good for everybody. What's the best way to kind of use these oils? Obviously, we mix them with a base oil and use them in massage, but Rachel, what other ways can we use essential oils?
I use them in a diffuser. I love to have a diffuser. I use them on, for I like lavender, so I will put a drop or two on some cotton wool, and I just have it in my drawer for my underwear. I've got 2 dogs, so I will put put some on a tiny tissue and then suck it up the hoover, so that the hoover's got quite a nice smell as I'm hoovering around. So there's loads of things that you can use the oils for other than just on yourself. So for me, I just think a little bottle goes such a long way.
It really does. So do you just use 1 or 2 drops in a diffuser?
It depends on what the diffuser is. If it's a little, you know, like a one with a candle, I would put 2 or 3 drops. I've got one of the Neal's Yard ones, and so I'll put up to 4 drops in that.
So there are different types of diffusers. Tell us a little bit about what you can get in terms of diffusers.
So the one I've got a couple. I've got one that you actually put the little tea light underneath. And so it's got the little well at the top that you would fill with water and put drops of essential oils into.
Okay,
that.
yeah.
And the other one I've got from Neal's Yard is an electric plug-in one.
And what's the benefits of diffusing the oil just going into the air? What are the benefits of diffusing essential oils into the air, into the space?
Well, it's that inhalation of them, and it's a nice subtle aroma that you have in your room. But I would only ever have it on for a maximum of 20 to 30 minutes, no longer than that. So you could have it in your bedroom before you go off to sleep on the night time. Sometimes I've had one in the lounge if there's been a bit of family friction going on. I've put something in there just to calm everybody down a little bit. There's so many uses. Eradicating bad smells in the kitchen is another one. Fish.
After fish. So when we diffuse the oils into the air, it's a different way of getting them into our system. We're inhaling them. Why does inhaling these essential oils, why is that beneficial, and why is it beneficial to inhale essential oils? How does it work?
So when you smell an aromatherapy or an essential oil, then it sends messages to the brain, and the brain then formulates what it wants to do with the action that it gets from the aroma, and it sends messages through the hormones to tell the body what it wants to do. So if it's a relaxing smell, then it will send out those messages to say, right, everybody step down a little bit, chill, let's just relax a little bit. And if invigorating one, it would send those messages around the body to say, right, we need to step up a little bit here, and a good one for the morning, or for a long drive, or for sitting an exam, or doing a lot of writing.
Yes, I like rosemary and lavender. Whilst I'm studying, I find the rosemary keeps me quite alert and gives me a nice sense of clarity, and the lavender keeps me from throwing my laptop out of the window. I find it very calming and very healing. So we can inhale the oils, we can breathe them in, we can have them in the atmosphere because we're diffusing them. How else can we use essential oils? I'll ask Samantha.
Well, recently Anna asked me to assist in helping write 5 hero oils for the COVID-19. And one of the things that we came across, well, one of the things that I've created really was a surface cleaner. So, you know, when we're having trouble finding cleaning things, you know, cleaning, what do you call them? Like flash bottles, things that are cleaning out. Everything was so sparse, you couldn't find anything because everything was sold out. So yeah, we created a surface cleaner, so you can create your own things at home for use. Hand sanitizers, hand soap, which has come in really handy. Chest bombs and things like that. The surface cleaner is quite nice as well, because what you're using, the oils I used was tea tree and lemon, so it leaves a really nice smell as well. It has
lovely.
Antiviral effect as well, so it was really good.
I'm going to ask you more about that blend of oils that you're recommending for combating COVID shortly. It's really interesting, isn't it? I'm certainly concerned. You know, we're cleaning everything all the time, aren't we? Door handles and surfaces and tops and things. And you know, the cleaning products that we use on a day-to-day basis are really filled with quite harmful chemicals, harmful to our health and certainly harmful to the environment. And what I love about essential oils is that they're a great way of getting what we need, that killing those viruses, killing those bugs, that bacteria. But they're really safe, aren't they? Really safe way of cleaning. Really safe way of cleaning your home. I also get concerned about how clean we are. I know it's important to be clean, but I think sometimes we overdo it and kill all the good bacteria as well. Whereas I think when you're using products like this, and when we're using essential oils, there's a bit more of a balance, isn't there? We're killing the stuff that needs to be killed, and but it's kind of it's a good healthy choice if you're conscious about saving the planet. I started using homemade essential oil cleaners a few years ago when my parents got a dog, little puppy, and it was tiddling everywhere basically, so we were constantly having to mop up after it. It was a little baby, it was learning, and there were little accidents, so we kept like a soapy bucket with disinfectant in it just handy, so that we could sort of, you know, it was there if there were any emergencies. And I was really concerned that the dog might drink out of the bucket and then die. So we looked at natural, safer cleaning products in our home and discovered lemon and tea tree and wild orange and clove and several other essential oils that are absolutely fantastic for cleaning and leave your house smelling like Christmas or smelling zesty and lemon, which is just gorgeous, isn't it? So lots of ways that we can use oils in the home. Get online and do some research and have a look at how you can have more eco-friendly cleaning products, or reach out to some of these ladies and get them to make you up a surface cleaner or something. Rachel, why blend oils? Why not just pick one or two? Why blend oils? What's the importance, or what's the reason behind blending?
Well, I think you're then creating something that's truly bespoke for the person that you're working with. So you can take into consideration all of the different factors of what's going on in their life. And then you're actually making something with a blend of oils that could be targeting 2 or 3 different things at the same time. And it actually increases its potency as well.
That's really interesting. How do you know, Sam, what to blend? How do you know what to blend? I don't know, if you mix one, I don't know, grapefruit and lemon, is not one going to cancel out the other, or is something going to be too potent, too strong?
I've found a lot of it's intuition. What you feel is right for that person, because you get a feel for the person. Well, I do anyways. But it's also finding the right balance of top, middle and base notes as well.
Tell us a little bit more about that note system that you were just mentioning there.
Yeah, well, your top notes are your citrus and your herbs. Your grass are between sort of top and middle note. Your middle notes are flowers and spices, and your base notes are your woods and your resins. So the base notes are quite grounding. So, you know, if you're up a height, it'll bring you down to a nice
quite
level.
Earthy smells, yeah?
Yeah, the middle notes, like the flowery smells and the spices, they're good sort of balancers, so they'll level you out. And the top notes, like the citrus and the herbs, they're uplifting. So it's finding the right balance. But again, I would say it's intuition, who you're making it for. And even if you're making it for yourself, what you might have one day, you might not have another day, because it all depends on how you feel. So I love the smell of lemon. For me, that's like sunshine in a bottle.
It's got, and it's definitely a top note, isn't it? Because it's really uplifting, elevates your mood, makes you feel good. It is like you've had it is sunshine in a bottle, I think lemon is. So blending's really beneficial. It makes things more prescriptive for people. You can be more specific. It can increase the potency, and of course you can use that note system to ensure that you're either bringing something more uplifting, something balancing, or something more grounding, as well as the kind of the properties. There's a lot to essential oils, isn't there? And tell us a little bit about health and safety practices that people should be aware of, if they're going to be buying oils, if they're going to be using oils.
So earlier on we discussed about buying essential oil. Ensure that you are buying a proper essential oil to start with. You want to make sure that it is a pure essential oil. It has to have a Latin name, should be in a brown bottle, and they've generally got a little insert inside so that you can count your drops. And this is something that I'm really incredibly big health and safety, is make sure you are watching what you're doing and counting the drops. So you just don't fake and hope for the best, you count them. However many drops you put into a blend, if it's going to be applied to the skin, it needs to be diluted correctly. And a very simple rule of thumb is just one drop of essential oil to 5 mils, which is a teaspoon of lotion, oil, or a cream. Other health and safety is do not let pure essential oils touch your skin. So if they do, you need to wash your hands immediately.
Some of them can burn, can't they?
They can burn. There's only really 2 essential oils that are acceptable to be put neat on the skin, and that is just 1 drop in its entirety, and that's lavender and tea tree. But you have to use those with respect. Do that a few times a day. You can get sensitized very, very easily to essential oils, and you'll be sensitized for the rest of your life. So being very willy-nilly with your blending, then you are going to cause yourself some problems. Clean up any spillage away. Make sure there's no children and no animals about when you're doing that. And if you are going to make a few days, I really recommend that you label your bottles so you know exactly what's in it. Can I tell you a little story?
Yeah, do.
So a couple of summers ago, it was really, really hot, and I thought it would be a really lovely idea to put some lavender and some peppermint oil into a bottle of mineral water. And I had it in the fridge, and every time I got a little bit hot, I would go and I would put some on a cotton and I would wipe my neck down, and it made me feel very, very cool and refreshed. I was having a chat with my husband, and he said, "You want to throw that bottle of water away that's in the fridge because it tastes funny."
Whoops.
So I realised that even in my own home, I need to label things. So from now on, if I do put anything like that in the fridge, I put a label on that says "Do not drink."
Don't drink me. What do you think about taking essential oils internally?
I personally don't agree with it. I know in France they do prescribe that you take essential oils internally.
They do in Spain as well.
In Spain, but they do have specialist training for that.
They do. I haven't come across an oil in this country that I felt has been safe enough to take internally. In Spain, the oils there seemed very different. They didn't have kind of preservatives and things in them. So I don't know. So stay away from taking them internally unless you've been.
They work best on the skin as well. The absorption of them. So if you can just put it onto your skin, it's much better than even the concept of taking it. It doesn't sit easy.
So there's no real reason why you would need to, because they
no,
weren't
and
really
Amanda Joy,
effective.
A pure essential oil hasn't got any preservatives added to it anyway, because it's a pure essential oil.
Good to know. Good to know. All right. So we've all been talking about how we need to we can blend, but we need to dilute these as well. And I know a lot of people dilute them using base oils. All the different base oils have different benefits and different properties. And tell us a little bit about carrier oils and base oils.
So carrier oil and base oils are extracted very similar to the way that essential oils are. They're plant oil, and they're not heat treated. That is the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of essential carrier oils have got healing properties of their own. So take, for example, one of my favourites, which is sweet almond oil. It's very rich in vitamin A, B, C, D and E.
Wow.
So that's the oil that I would personally choose. However, we have to be careful of people that have nut allergies.
Yeah.
There are other essential carrier oils out there, like coconut oil. Coconut oil is very popular now. You can get this from virtually any supermarket. And if it says that it's good enough to cook with, it's good enough to go on the skin.
Fabulous.
It does tend to come in solid form, so you would use a spoon to measure it out, and then even just the heat of your hands will actually start to get it to melt. But otherwise, you could put a saucer over a cup of hot water, and that would encourage it to melt. I know most complementary therapists quite favour grapeseed oil, and the reason being is that most clients don't have a reaction from it. So it's a good one to have in the therapy room because you haven't got to worry about things like nut allergies. There are other base oils that we use, such as avocado, which is fantastic for dry skin.
That's my favourite.
Is it? Oh, but it's expensive, but it's thick, and it also can be quite pungent as well.
It's got a funky smell, hasn't it?
It has,
but
yeah.
I find I work a lot with people with eczema and psoriasis, and sometimes their skin is so dry when they're having a massage, their skin might crack a little bit. So to avoid that, I find the avocado oil is like so rich and nourishing for the skin. Just don't have any problems at all. And you know, once you've kind of got used to the smell, which I love the smell of it. It's really silky on the skin, and I find it doesn't leave you sticky afterwards. It's kind of a nice, rich, lovely oil. It's one of my I'm a big fan of avocado oil now.
Yeah, so if we're making a massage blend up, we can go that little extra mile and place enriching, healing base oils to make that aromatherapy massage so much more healing.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your favourite oil, Anne, and why?
Well, it's no secret who's ever done anything to do with aromatherapy with me. My ultimate favourite essential oil is ylang ylang. It's a exotic flower, and it's sometimes referred to as the flower of flowers because it's so flowery. It comes from a tropical tree, and they take the flower from the tree, and the flowers can be pink, mauve or yellow, and the yellow flowers have got the better essential oil from it. Why do I like it? Because although it's floral, it's also quite musky as well. I think it's quite exotic smelling, and it just really makes me feel incredibly chilled. I wear it as a perfume.
Is it not an aphrodisiac?
Yes.
Well, she'll say no more, Anne. We'll say no more. She's a spicy lady. Right, moving on. Samantha, what's your favourite oil and why?
Oh, there's so many, but if I had to choose, it would be between lemon and lavender. Lemon being the top note, like you said, it's like a bottle of sunshine. It's just so uplifting. It just puts that smile on your face. But lavender as well, because it's a good balancer. It helps you sleep, helps you chill, helps you relax. Because I'm just on the go all the time, so sometimes it's just nice to put it in the diffuser. I've got little eye pillows with lavender, and my mother-in-law made. They're nice, fly across the eyes. They're beautiful. So yeah, I couldn't choose between the two. Tea tree's another one, but I could go on and on and on. I just yeah.
I believe that lavender's very good if you've had a burn or if you've got sore skin of any type. Is that right?
Yeah, you can actually use it on an open wound carefully. You know, it's one of the only ones you can use, and it's got the antibiotic factor to it as well, and the healing from it as well. It's lavender's an amazing all-rounder. I would say it is a must-have to have in the home.
I think if you're going to get an oil, it's definitely the one top of the list, isn't it, lavender? Because it does so many different things.
So popular though, so you need to be careful because it's overused in the industry of beauty and therapies. It can actually, you know, trigger off migraines and things like that with overuse.
Right.
And so you need to be careful with it, yeah. But yeah, it's still one of my favourites. Yeah.
It's that respect thing, isn't it? I think for years people have just thought you can just slap an oil on your skin or slap an oil, throw an oil in the bath and these sorts of things. But we need to remember how much plant is in that bottle and how powerful. And because they're so powerful, they're incredibly effective. But we need to have that respect, don't we, so that we're not overdosing on anything.
Definitely.
Rachel, yeah. Rachel, what's your fave and why?
Well, as I mentioned earlier on, lavender, definitely lavender, and the grapefruit and the lime as well. But I'm the same as Samantha. I could give you a list of 10 or 20 that I like.
I think I have favourites different days of the week. Sometimes I have a eucalyptus, all right, get into like, ooh, lovely. Especially if I've been feeling a bit congested or a bit hay fevery or something like that. But lemon and grapefruit. I love wild orange as well, or kind of mandarins. The citrusy ones are all my favourite ones. I like the high notes. Ladies.
But also, your body has been telling you there which essential oil you need, that precise, and that's why you've changed your mind on a day-to-day basis.
Ooh, I love that. Yeah, I've been drawn to a particular oil because that's what I need. I like it. That works for me. That does it. It's good. So I want to know your top tips on using essential oils, ladies. So we'll start with you, Samantha. What are your top tips on using essential oils?
Make sure you buy good quality oils. Do your homework before you buy. Check out reviews, recommendations, speak to friends, other therapists. Build up a relationship with who you're buying from as well. And you know what you're getting. And yeah, that's probably my biggest one, making sure you get the correct oil. Yeah.
Make sure it's a good quality one, and I guess it makes sure it's safe for you as well. Rachel, your top tips for essential oils?
Mine would be to actually use them, because like Anne said, you know, sometimes you find one sitting at the back of a drawer. We collect them and we have them, but to actually use them, so whether you use them on yourself or whether you use them around the house.
Amazing. I quite often put a few drops on a ball of wool and throw the ball of wool in the tumble dryer as my clothes are drying, and then everything comes out smelling fabulous. That's one of my favorite top tips. And what's your top tips for using essential oils?
Well, seeing that you pointed out that ylang ylang is an aphrodisiac.
Come on then. Bring it on.
I'm going to say take a teaspoon of lotion or non-perfume cream, add 1 drop of your ylang ylang, mix it together, apply it to the décolletage area before you go to bed.
Fabulous. Before you go to bed and have a lovely sleep.
Yeah.
Fabulous. I love it. You ladies have been working really hard as well, collaborating and working with each other, and and bringing all your knowledge together, and you've been putting together, I believe, some incredible blends for people and like packages of essential oils. I know that you've been putting one together on to really support your emotions and your well-being. I don't know who was it that was really focusing on that one, the emotions and the well-being kind of package of essential oils. Have you kind of just all done it together?
So I had this idea to create your own 5 heroes series of oils, because aromatherapy is such a huge subject. It can be quite overwhelming and quite daunting for people. And I thought, if you had 5 bottles of oil in your cupboard, you were more likely to learn about them and want to use them. But rather than a recipe of a blend to make that had another essential oil and another essential oil, I thought if you had a collection of recipes that used those 5 hero oils, then you would feel like you're getting value for money for buying the investment of buying your 5 essential oils. So I started writing some of the Create Your Own series, and I wrote My Passion is Pregnancy and Birth. So I focused on Create Your Own 5 hero oils for the birthing room, for labour. And then I spoke to all the students and asked if anybody else wanted to write one on their passionate subject. And Samantha said she wanted to focus on COVID-19, and Rachel said that she wants to focus on menopause. We also had another of the students, Charlotte, who wants to concentrate on recovery because she's a professional dancer in London. So we all kind of went off into our own little rooms with our laptop, search books, and came up with some fantastic recipes for 5 oils. So each series has its own 5 oils, and then a series of recipe blends for you to make them. And rather than them being daunting and having to basically set up a laboratory in your kitchen, they're very easy to make as well.
Fantastic. So what's in your birthing room blend kit list? Your 5 heroes for the hero oils for the birthing room.
So clary sage is for sure, because clary sage is fantastic for uterine contractions. Got mandarin, because mandarin, like you said, bottle of zesty loveliness. Mandarin is a bottle of joy, so it's really important to have that feeling of joy. Frankincense to help you feel supported and give you a crash, and get you into that meditative state and help you to breathe, because you don't want to be hyperventilating when you're in labour. We also have lavender, which features quite a lot, as you can see, and I think it features in the other 2 ladies' packages as well. And I have gone blank, I can't remember the last one. Peppermint, because it wakes you up, and it also helps with nausea, because quite often you feel a little bit nauseous when you're in labour.
Birthing, that's right. Love it. You've really thought of all the aspects of birth and what you might need. That's great. How do people get their hands on that information?
I've got an online school, which is Guru Holistic Trainer teachable.com, and all of the courses are on there.
That's fantastic. That's really, really good information. Thank you, Anne. So Rachel, you really focused on like your 5 hero oils for somebody who's experiencing menopause. Tell me a little bit more about your 5 hero oils that you've selected and why.
Well, through clients coming to see me, reflexology, and majority of them are being women, and women with a little bit more of a disposable income. And I think as you get to a certain age, you're more aware of the need for your own self-care and your own well-being. And so the link between reflexology and menopause became quite something. And then with doing the aromatherapy course, again, there's so many oils that you can use to help through the menopause. So my 5 were bergamot, because that can help with depression. It can help with nervous tension. Harry sage is relaxing. It's a pick-me-up, but it can also help to balance the hormones. Basil was another one that can help with headaches, digestive issues. Again, helps with the hormones.
I love basil essential oil.
It's a lovely oil.
You
Yes,
wouldn't have thought it, but it's a great smell, and it's really anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
And
then my other 2 were lavender. Again, a lot of women struggle with to get off to sleep and
yeah,
insomnia. And rosemary, and that was a really key one, because a lot of women start to struggle sort of mid-afternoon if they're not sleeping particularly well and their energy levels take a bit of a dip. It can be quite invigorating, and it aids the memory as well, so it helps them get through the rest of the working day.
I love it. Helps you with thinking, it helps you with your energy. Yeah, you've got some fantastic oils in that kit there. That's brilliant. And of course, we're all in this situation now where we're having to really think about how we're going to sort of manage ourselves and how we can use essential oils perhaps in the home to help with the COVID-19 situation. Samantha, I've muted you. Let me unmute you. Samantha, you've been putting together a really fantastic package to really help with this. Tell us a little bit more about your blends.
Well, Anne set the challenge to choose 5 hero oils. So I wanted them, they had to be affordable first off, and they had to, I think, be more uplifting, because I think everybody's a little bit flat. Nobody wanted to be at home. Everyone's missing work, family. So I went for more top notes than anything else. It was top to middle. The 5 I chose were lemon, the eucalyptus, tea tree, lavender and thyme. And I chose them basically because they were all antiviral, antifungal, anti-inflammatory, antibiotic, antiseptic, all those sort of things that we couldn't get from the shops, because all the hand washes are gone, the hand sanitizers are gone. And the idea behind this was so people had the confidence that they were clean and hygienic and they weren't going to spread germs. So the idea was to create some things that you could use around the house, and I decided to look at a surface spray, a decongestant balm, hand wash, an antibacterial gel, and a room spray as well. So
fabulous.
People have the confidence at home because they've got that's an all-rounder. And the surface spray was brilliant. You could use it on everything, and the room spray especially. Any germs. You open your windows and things, but they all smell nice as well.
Yeah.
They're all doing the work when you're not, and you can have them in diffusers and oil burners and things like that. But yeah, I really got stuck into it and really wanted the antiviral effect.
Yeah. So it's great to know that you can be cleaning your kitchen but uplifting yourself at the same time. That never happens to me. I'm never uplifted when I'm cleaning the kitchen. So I'm going to definitely go for some of that in my house. Enjoy doing the housework because you're having some aromatherapy at the same time. Absolutely brilliant stuff. And again, is that information available for us to get? Can we get hold of that information?
Yes, it's all on Anne's course. If you go on the Google list training, it's all on there. Yeah.
Amazing. And tell us a bit more about the training and how we go about getting on this fantastic blending course.
So with the aromatherapy blending, I am taking names for the next courses, and obviously when we are open again, I will be offering in-person training. It's 2 days intensive training if it's in person, otherwise it's going to be spread over 5 sessions, which are going to be through Zoom. With the course, you get a training manual. So if you were going to come to do training with me in person, I would hand you the manual over. But you've got the beauty now that it's also available online as well.
Paper free.
And with it,
environment.
and with the online the extra benefits of me doing little mini videos of making things, talking about things. I do a book review. I talk about the different oils that you can buy, because I'm not affiliated with any company. I've got probably about 4, 5, even 6 different companies that I buy my essential oils from. So I'm very keen on putting that across to people, that you're not buying into a franchise, you're not buying into a, it's your choice, and I'll guide you on what to look for, but then you can go out and make your own decision. So it's on my guruholistictraining.com page, but if you wanted to do the Create Your Own series, which is for anybody who wants to know a little bit more about essential oils and use those 5 hero oils, that is on the online teaching website, which is the Teachable one.
That's amazing. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, all of you. Anne, Samantha, Rachel, thank you for giving me your time. Thank you for bringing all that absolutely fascinating information. Essential oils are such incredible things, incredible tools that we can use in our homes for cleaning, in our homes for health and well-being, and for all the multiple things that we've been talking about. And I feel like we're literally just dipped our little pinky toe in the water of all the amazing things that we can do with essential oils. If you've loved this interview, if you've really enjoyed finding out about essential oils, get on Guru Holistic's website. Go and have a look at that incredible blending course. I'm so tempted to do it, and I love oils, and I've done aromatherapy many times, but I always love learning again. And every time I do a course, I always learn more and get a new perspective. And there's nothing nicer than being in a room full of people who love essential oils. We can all get very excited about oils together, can't we?
Absolutely, yes.
And the kind of like the introductory courses, the 5 hero oils courses, they're also available for just anybody. Anybody can do those courses.
So it's an online course, and it's a series of information that you can print off, and also the recipes, the blend recipes as well. And there's a couple of little videos, lovely little photographs that everybody took as well. So that, like, Rachel took her own photos, Samantha took her own photos, I took my own photos. So it's a very kind of personal journey, but
I love it. Absolutely love it. I'm gonna get all of those links from you. I'm gonna make sure that we post them on our Radio Shields Facebook page, but that I'll also put them on my podcast as well. So anyone who's listening who wants to do those courses, they'll be able to find them. Oh, it's been lovely. I could actually just talk to you all night about essential oils. I'm sitting here with my oils right now. But it's so lovely to meet oil enthusiasts, and thank you so much for sharing this incredible information with us tonight. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much, Amanda Joy. It's been a pleasure.
All right, take care, ladies. Lots of love.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Thanks. Bye-bye.